This is Striking Gold. I'm Sterling Sincotta. Christina Baker, welcome to Striking Gold.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here. And would you believe this is my first podcast?
No way.
So, yes, what an opportunity. This is a big moment for me, so I'm very excited.
Well, thank you. We feel very honoured that you've chosen us for your first. I'm sure you've had a couple of requests over the years.
Yes. No, this one was just amazing, and everything I'm passionate about as well. The Gold Coast, entrepreneurship here on the Gold Coast. So it's awesome.
Oh, awesome! Very, very good. So, Christina Baker.
Yes.
Before we get stuck into Gold Coast Cookies, of course, you're the founder. And I'm probably not the first person to say it, but with the surname Baker, it was probably inevitable what you were going to end up doing. But take me back to the beginning and where you grew up, and we'll sort of get to what led you to the Gold Coast Cookies.
Okay, so it's so ironic my last name's Baker, because not one part of my upbringing did I ever think that I would have a cookie business. So it's crazy. About 6 months into the business, actually, someone said to me, "Is it actually true your last name's Baker?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." Like, what are the chances? It must be fate. So I grew up in the USA.
Okay.
I'm British born. But went to the US as a young kid, and I grew up in the USA for a large portion of my life.
How old when you moved to the US?
I was 2. I was only 2,
okay. And
I came back to the UK around 13. It was just my good childhood segment that I was in the USA.
Which part of the US?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, West Coast, which I still love dearly. Still a huge part of me and who
family
I am.
There still? Any family?
No family, only just friends.
Okay.
Still a lot of close friends that I regularly keep in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
All my family's still in the UK. I'm actually here in Australia on my own.
Really?
I have a husband,
yes.
for one,
okay.
And he's moved to Australia with me.
Okay.
But no greater family other than my husband. They're all in the UK still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in the US.
Yes.
And talk me through growing up and early school and into college. Did you go to college in the US?
Yeah. So went to school in the USA. Bringing the cookies into it, I have always loved eating cookies, and especially growing up in the USA. Like, the USA is the capital of cookies, right?
It sure is.
I've always had cookies as a part of my life. I didn't realize what was going to come in the future. Moved to the UK. That's where I, finished my high school, and then went to university in the UK.
Okay.
In the UK, they make you decide what career you want to do so early on. So around the age of 16, I decided I wanted to study dental hygiene,
right? Which
is basically the lady that scales and polishes your teeth,
right.
and stops you from getting tooth decay from cookies.
Right. Okay. That's a degree.
Yes.
Wow,
So
okay.
I did that, dental hygiene and therapy, it's called.
Okay.
So I studied that at uni in the UK. My husband studied dentistry at the same time.
Okay.
We weren't married at the time, but he studied to be a dentist. And as I was studying dental hygiene, I was probably about 2 years in, my interest in dental hygiene was just really depleting. I found that, it wasn't exciting me.
Right.
And at that point, that's when I kind of realized it probably wasn't for me around that point. In the evenings, I started watching Shark Tank USA.
Oh, great show.
Yes.
Great show, yeah.
It's honestly what inspired me.
Really?
So watching Shark Tank, seeing all these stories, I always thought that entrepreneurs and people that did business were like people in the movies. Like, they were so far away from what I could do or what I could achieve. Mm-hmm. Or people that were born into business, but I didn't realize it was something that anyone could actually do and start in their life. So watching Shark Tank, I was just like, wow, like, you can actually do it from scratch, and you can become that. You can become a business person. And I thought, I thought it was incredible. So at that point, after watching so many Shark Tank episodes, reading business books, I kind of had a self-reflection point where I was like, okay, if I was to one day when I die one day on my deathbed, what would I regret not having at least tried? And one of those things was a business.
Right.
Just kind of sparked in me. So
what year are we talking here?
I was about the age of 23.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm 31 right now.
Okay, so
a long time ago.
Sort of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And on the back of that, so did you drop out of?
No.
You completed?
Oh, I completed it.
Oh, so you're a dental hygienist.
I am a qualified.
Right. Very good. Probably good. It goes hand in hand with eating cookies.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. No, we
Okay.
do get jokes on that one a lot, especially my husband's a qualified dentist too. So.
Right.
Yes.
It's a full circle product.
It is. It is. Yes.
So you finished uni in the UK. Then what did you do?
Yeah. So I finished my uni. I was still working as a dental hygienist, but I went and got married at the age of 24 to my husband, and we went on honeymoon to Hawaii. While I was in Hawaii, there was a cookie in Hawaii that I saw and tried, and it had kind of national presence around the USA, all from this local founder in Maui in Hawaii. And, you know, I'd obviously been absorbing so much Shark Tank at this point. Any kind of business that I saw.
Any idea you're waiting to?
Yeah, any idea. I was like, this is so cool. I tried the cookie and I really liked it, but I thought, you know, I could actually make something better. There was things that I thought I could tweak and improve.
Had you at this stage ever been, baking, trying?
Yes.
You have.
So I've never really baked growing up, if I'm totally honest with you. But I have always, like I say, loved cookies. And cookies were like my go-to. Like at uni bake fairs, I would always be the one that brought cookies along.
Right.
And so cookies are always something I baked, maybe just from my US upbringing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just.
And so, were you baking them from like pre-mixed packaging, or were you starting from scratch?
Starting from scratch.
Always from scratch.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So when I tried this cookie in Hawaii, I was trying to just think of a business idea at the time, but when I tried it, I thought, oh, do you know what? Even if this isn't the business that I do, like it might not be the one, but why not just try making a cookie that you feel is the best cookie that you could ever make, and the best cookie on the market, and try selling it and just learn how to sell something. Like that's a good starting point, rather than not doing anything. So flew back from Hawaii and spent my whole summer vacation doing recipe trials, just literally tweaking. Every evening I would just have friends and Jordan, my husband, trying them, and till eventually I tweaked it so many times. I was pretty confident with what I had. I went out on the streets of the UK in the city that I lived in and wore a little baking apron with a tray and blind trialed strangers.
Really?
On the streets.
So was this one single recipe or a variety at this stage?
It's been tweaked and tweaked so much.
But one particular signature cookie?
Yeah, which is still very similar to it to this day.
Right.
It's a thick, loaded, it was a thick and loaded cookie at that point. I hadn't filled it in the center as we do now yet. Right. But yeah, it was thick and loaded. And I went on the streets. I literally blindfolded people and I put them next to cookies that were also popular at the time in the UK, and then asked them which one they preferred. And literally I was getting the same answer every time, which was that they were preferring mine.
Really?
Yeah. So at that point I was like, I'm onto something.
Fantastic.
I've got a good cookie. Yeah.
How many people do you think what are we talking, like a few hundred or?
Oh, I went over a period of days and weeks.
Right.
So, I probably wasn't that big a sample size. It was always really awkward stopping someone on their bike and being like, excuse me, will you try a cookie? So, I probably had at least 50. But people were enjoying them. And I got some interest at that point from people saying, you should sell these. My friends were saying, you should sell these. And that's when I decided to give it a go.
Okay. So deciding to give it a go, what does that mean? What did you do next?
Oh, what did I do next?
So you're still in the UK at this stage?
Still in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah. And
at that stage, you hadn't had any real connection to Australia? Was there a connection to Australia at all?
Yeah, there was no real connection to Australia except in my heart.
Right.
At the age of 16, I decided from seeing a Google image of the Gold Coast that was where I wanted to live.
Really?
Yeah. From the age of 16. And my school friends still remember me saying
What image?
It was just, I think it was through I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, the TV show.
Yeah.
I saw like a drone shot of the Gold Coast.
Really?
And then I Googled, what is this place?
So the beaches, the apartments on the beach.
Yeah, the white sand beach, the skyline. And then from that day, I was like, I want to live there. It looks so nice. Yeah. And so it was a huge journey to get here.
Okay. So let's go back. So you're still in the UK.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, I've now tested, I've had a sample size of blind taste testing with potentially like a blind audience, and they've given me the tick of approval.
Yeah.
And now I've decided to put this into some type of business model. What did you do next?
So I made an Instagram. This was back in the early days, very small. I just took pictures and videos of the cookies.
You have a brand? Did you have a brand
at the time, it was a different name.
Yeah.
We weren't called Gold Coast Cookies, obviously. It wasn't in Australia.
Yeah.
But
what were you called?
it was called Divine Bake Shop.
Oh, yes. Divine Bake Shop. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
I think I wanted to call it Divine Cookies, but the name was taken.
Right.
So I called it Divine Bake Shop.
Okay.
Yes. Put it on Instagram, and I was a dental hygienist at the time and had friends. And so everyone kind of spread the word for me. It started getting orders. So what I would do, I go to dental hygiene in the day, work my 9 to 5 job, come home, bake cookies in the evening, and pack them all up. This was all in my small apartment, and I actually had to bake cookies on one tray of the oven, because if it went on the top or the bottom tray, they would burn or undercook.
Right.
So I could do like 6 or 8 at a time.
Right.
So I was doing
severely undersupplied.
yeah, I was doing 6 or 8 cookies at a time, packing them up in the morning before my work began. My hygiene work, I would go to the post office, ship the boxes off, and then go do dental hygiene and do it on repeat. And then I'd see the orders coming through on my Shopify or my little website that I had.
So how long did you do that for?
This was about a year.
Wow.
Year and a half.
Really?
Yeah,
year and a
very
half?
small, because I was working full time
Okay.
as a dental hygienist. And then obviously the dream at the time, we were applying for visas to come to Australia,
Right.
and the Gold Coast particularly.
Right, okay.
So it was all kind of I'm doing this for now to learn how to sell something before I get to Oz.
So it was probably more of a hobby business at that stage.
100%, yeah.
Earning a little bit of income.
Not really even earning.
Not even earning.
I was just doing it.
Okay, so
But learning.
were they repeat customers?
Yeah, definitely had repeat customers.
Right.
Yeah, even still, even today, I have people say to me, "Can you bring it out in the UK again? We love them."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing it for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then by this stage, you're starting to really get an understanding of your supply and your demand, delivery to customer, and repetition of the recipe. I guess is obviously probably one of the most important parts.
Yeah.
Day in, day out, especially if you've got repeat customers. You want that taste to be the same, whether ordering it today or in a month's time. So when it became time to really formalize this and put it into a business, is that once you got to the coast or once you got to Australia?
Yeah.
Did you come to Australia not knowing what you were going to do, or did you come going, I'm going to go and open some type of...
Yeah.
You had no idea?
I had no clue.
Right.
I had no clue what I was going to do
And so
again.
your husband was coming over as a dentist?
Yes, that's how we got over here. So he was sponsored to be a dentist, and he fulfilled his conditions to do that.
Okay.
But I didn't transfer my dental hygiene qualification to Australia, because I thought I'm going to start afresh.
Right. You had no interest?
I had no interest at all. Yeah.
Burn the boats.
Still don't.
Okay. Understood.
It's gone. Yes. So came to Australia. It's actually a really funny story. One of my dear friends who lives in Australia now, she went to school with me, but she lives in Australia. She said to me, in Australia, people don't eat cookies. They're all vegan and they're all healthy.
Really?
Yes.
Where is she hanging out? About an hour down the road, I bet. Right.
Yes. Yeah. So I didn't think cookies was a possibility. I just thought, Australians aren't going to buy cookies. They want something vegan. So I went into what can I create to help Australians with their healthy vegan eating. And I actually created something that I called Bonza Bar. Tried to make it as Aussie sounding as I could, which was a vegan brownie bar that had every vitamin and mineral you need in a day, all in one bar.
Right.
So random.
So you actually made these?
Literally in my apartment, went to market in the Gold Coast, did all the market stalls.
And Bonza, how do you spell it?
Bonza.
Bonza. Oh,
the Aussie word. Yes.
Very much Aussie word.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, did all the markets. It was an absolute flop. People didn't want to buy it.
Right.
And
so what did you learn out of that?
What did I learn out of that is that tenacity. I kept going and I kept trying again. So for me, it was like listening to the market and responding. So people were saying to me, is that a junk food brownie? Because if it was, I would buy it. And they're like, it's healthy. That's honestly what people were saying to me as they walked past. Yeah. And after doing maybe 8 weeks of markets with the Bonza
So when
Bar.
you say markets, you mean like beach markets or in the park?
Yeah.
Which ones in particular? What are
You know,
doing?
the classic ones, the one at Broad Beach, the one at Palm Beach, the Burley Heads market, the farmers market there. I was there every week.
Okay.
Yeah. Just whatever.
And so you're cooking at home at this stage, or a commercial kitchen?
Oh, all at home.
All at home.
Everything's in my apartment.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And so at that point, I just came to a point where I was like, this isn't working. You know, I still haven't, I haven't made a cent from all of this.
Yeah.
What do I do? And it was at that point that it was February 2020, right before COVID was about to begin, that I was like, do you know what? People really loved those cookies that I made. I need to make some money. I'm in a new country here. I need to do something. So I'm going to make the cookies again, and I'm going to set up a stall. I set it up at Coolangatta Strand. I had a little stall there.
Okay.
People remember me as
Good
that
spot.
girl. Yeah, I was right next to, like, in the office area, and a lot of the office people flocked over to me, and they were selling me out every day. Honestly, as much as I could bake in my evenings, because I was in the stall in the daytime, I would sell out. And at the time, I had no idea, but Australia had never seen a filled and loaded cookie before. There was none.
Is that right?
On the east, especially on the eastern seaboard. I think there's one in Perth doing it, but this was before anyone had even seen this style of cookie.
Right.
Australians had only seen that more like generic biscuit, like more of a biscuit style cookie, but a big fat chunky American style cookie.
So this is one that's quite soft and it breaks up and you've got a filling in the middle. I know you did bring some in. I think the team's probably devoured them by now. Hopefully they've left one for me. But so essentially what you're saying is it's a big sort of crumbly cookie and it's got a beautiful sort of filling in the middle that might be chocolate or caramel or whatever it might be.
Absolutely, yeah. So we load it with the highest quality chocolate, loads of chocolate chips and yummy things. We pipe them in the middle with a filling. So, for instance, we pipe it with Nutella, Biscoff, the pistachio, cream, fill it in the middle, and then decorate it. So when you open the cookie up, it's ooey gooey and like indulgent.
Beautiful. Okay, so all right. So now we're at the Strand. How long were we there for?
Until COVID hit. So it was like April.
Okay, so only a few months.
Yeah.
So in those initial, let's call it 3 months, you enjoyed some pretty, success was, in your mind, it was successful? You had, you were selling out?
I was selling out.
So the demand was there, you were getting good customer feedback?
Yes, and at that point, I actually thought maybe I'll take this business and make it more of like a stalls in different shopping malls around Australia.
Like in the middle, is that what you mean? Like
I thought maybe I would go that approach.
Yeah.
I was still kind of working it out. By the time that you pay for the rent of the space in the mall, and by the time, I eventually would hire a girl to stand at the stall for me and sell them so that I could be baking in the day.
Right.
By the time you pay all those labor fees, I thought, gosh, tight.
Not much left.
Yeah, not much left. I didn't know where I was going. I was just taking one step forward and just working it out.
Right. Okay, so COVID hits.
Yeah.
Which basically shuts down pretty much the world.
Yeah.
At least for a few months. Australia and the Gold Coast, it hit, but, it was probably on the lighter side. How did that impact your business now? And what decisions did you make on the back of it?
Yeah, so because of COVID, all the shopping malls stopped, all the rents of the stalls, and I was told I had to leave. At that point, my husband's dentistry as well went to emergency only. So we were at the point where we didn't have an income.
Right.
And so I just put as much as I could on Instagram and made an actual Instagram. I think that's when Gold Coast Cookies actually came to be. It was around that time in April 2020.
So when so let's just go back for a sec. So when you're in the Strand, you were on the brand Gold Coast Cookies.
I went under the name Divine Foods.
You went Divine
Cookies. Sorry,
Divine Cookies.
Yes.
Okay, so you brought the brand over from the UK.
Yeah.
Essentially, you modified it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then now COVID hits, and then you've rebranded again to Gold Coast Cookies.
I did.
Why use the word Gold Coast?
Because it's super sentimental to me. Like I've told you, at 16, I had a dream and I prayed that I would one day get to the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Not only that, my husband actually proposed to me on holiday here when we came to visit the Gold Coast for the first time. So that was awesome. And then the skyline, the Gold Coast skyline, it's part of our logo and our branding. It's on all of our boxes. And the skyline to me was always like a symbol of just like the, deliverance of getting here and just the prayer come true, really. So it's very sentimental, and the name Gold Coast Cookies was just kind of a part of that.
And did it take long to come up with this? Did you do like big branding sessions, or did you just immediately one day say, you know what, this is now Gold Coast Cookies, and that's it? How did you come up? What was the process?
Yeah.
Was there a process? Because branding.
Yeah.
You pay 40, 50,000 to an agency, and they give you something that you half like, you don't like, you go again, and it's a 2-month, 3-month process sometimes to really, extrapolate out a brand.
Yes. So that was not me.
That was not you.
For one, I didn't have the finances to pay for that. But to be honest, I was just the kind of person that I didn't worry too much about the faff. Not saying that branding is faff, because it is important eventually, but I think when you're getting going, it's just about the sale, sell it.
Just get it done, get it going.
Make sure it works, and then worry about all those bits and pieces. So I really just put it on the back burner. Right. Gold Coast Cookies sounds cool, sounds cute.
So great. Obviously the name was available.
The name was available.
And then the websites and social handles.
It was all available. Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
I know, meant to be.
So, okay, all right. So now we're into April. You've relaunched under Gold Coast Cookies.
Gold Coast Cookies. So people started ordering on our Instagram to have cookies delivered to their door during lockdown.
Right.
So I would spend all my day baking the cookies of the orders that came in, and then around early afternoon, get on the road and start delivering them to people's doors.
Yourself?
All by myself.
Wow.
Yes.
And so what was the range at this stage?
We had about maybe seven or 8 flavors. Yeah, we still had a good range.
Okay.
And I would just bake what was needed. Again, this is all in my apartment kitchen in a tiny little oven, like one tray at a time. And I would have shelves of them all stacked up. I just bought budding shelves and stacked them all up.
Right. Right. Fantastic.
Yes. So went on the road. In fact, I even had one day where I had so many deliveries. I started, at midday, early afternoon. And then I was delivering cookies till 1, 2 in the morning, because by the time I got up to Coomera, it was so late. I've been driving 12 plus hours. I was getting DMs from people that had ordered are my cookies still on their way? It was 1 in the morning.
Really?
I was I'm just coming. I remember at 2 in the morning, I had a Macca's. I was so tired.
Wow.
Yeah, when I'd finished the shift. It was crazy. And when I look back, I'm it was absolute madness. I can't believe I did that. And that I had the energy.
Okay. And looking back now, that was a necessity, right? That's you had to hustle. You had to get to get your brand out there, and especially in COVID, a lot of people obviously looking for hustles and looking for extra ways to make money with income stopping. So, how long did you do that for? The shelf life on that for me doesn't sound like it's too sustainable.
Yeah, it must have been a matter of a month or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. What changed it was I had a DM from a cafe saying, could we please stock these in our cafe? And I had never, ever contemplated doing wholesale.
Interesting.
I was okay, how do I do this then? So the cookies sell for me around this price, but I have to sell it to them at a price where they can make a margin. Just had to figure it out. Just made it happen. And stocked the cookies in the cafe, and within 2 weeks I had 20 cafes reach out asking to stock.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rapid fire spread, word of mouth. People had never seen a filled and loaded cookie before in Australia, and people were excited, and word of mouth. It was just all through word of mouth, no marketing.
Right, and so that's all local, all Gold Coast based?
Yeah, all Gold Coast at this point.
And so, all right, so at this stage now we've got commercial orders for 20 cafes. That's, what are they ordering? Sort of 20, 30
Yeah, they would order, 2 dozen to 48.
Okay, so
40,
at this stage now now we've got to start to, ramp up our commercial supply and potentially go from the kitchen at home to a commercial kitchen.
Yes, that's right.
Was that your next step?
That was the jump. So at around when I got to the 20 cafe point, literally at 2 weeks, me and my husband decided that, it's time for us to take the jump and to get a commercial lease. It was just an industrial unit, completely empty.
Right, okay.
But it was a huge risk because we'd gone from, COVID with no income to now paying 2 rents. But we did it. We took the jump. I literally just put some stainless steel tables, bought a bit more of a commercial oven, something still very small. Didn't have much funding.
Yeah.
So just made it very simple, and we took the jump into the 1 unit.
Right. Okay. And what would have been the output that you could do out of that kitchen?
Well, it's still one of the units that we're still based in today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's gone from a big empty shell to absolutely jammed full of people and equipment and machines and all sorts.
Right, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And we have multiple units now that we've joined together, but that was
in the same
starting
complex?
Unit. Yes, in the same complex.
You're in the same...
We are in the same
right.
complex from 2020.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And you just keep sort of bolting on additional sites to the side of you, essentially.
Yeah, and just connect them.
Right, okay. All right, so... At this stage now, we've got 20 cafes on board. We're supplying 20 commercial businesses.
Yeah.
And your systems, as you start to grow, are things that are you learning on the run in terms of how to simple things, commercial invoicing, commercial supply. Do you give credit terms? Are you cash up front?
Yeah.
They're all decisions when you've gone from beach markets and markets in Coolangatta to now, dealing with business owners. How did you start to navigate these types of, business principles that you may not have really had much training in at that stage?
Yeah, I had no clue. I just learned as I went. I literally just did it and figured it out as I went. It was just step by step and bit by bit. I was wearing every hat in the business at this point. I was doing every role.
So you're the baker, the administrator, the delivery
driver.
Person.
Yeah. I didn't even have a courier.
So was it just you at this stage?
Yeah, just me at this stage. I mean, my husband, he's always been such a huge support. He's my biggest encourager, and always been a supporter in Gold Coast Cookies. So for him, he was doing dentistry. That's what we were here in Australia to do. So he was doing dentistry in the day, and then in the evening he'd come put a hairnet on and start baking cookies with me.
Right.
We hardly slept in those days. It was literally just 24/7 work, 7 days a week.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So at what point do you then start to say, we need to bring in other people? And what roles did you start to fill?
Yeah. So
first,
the roles I started first was bakers. I had 2 girls who came and actually did the baking of the cookies. They show them the recipe, show them the style.
Were they
and what we do.
experienced?
No. Just train them on the go. Obviously, I spent a lot of time baking with them initially, until eventually when I could leave it to them to bake, I would go on the road and do my delivery runs. But the main thing for me that I spent most of my time doing, which was a key in the reason why Gold Coast Cookies is the size that it is now, is I spent a lot of my time door knocking. So I would do my deliveries, and then if there was a cafe, I'm up in Brisbane, I might as well go visit 20 other cafes that day, just knock the door, ask to speak to the owner, and show them our products. So a lot of my time was spent more in sales, which is the direction that I've gone, from then. The girls in the factory were doing the baking of what was the orders coming in.
Well, that's a great leverage of time. So essentially you drop off samples, talk to the business owner, wait for the phone to ring, or were they on the spot? Did they?
Yeah, a lot of the time on the spot. Yeah, a good portion. Obviously, there's always those people that say no. You have to be ready for no's, and there's all those people that need followed up with. But I've definitely learned a lot about sales in the last
because
5
back
years.
then too, if we're talking 5 years ago or 4 years ago, you're doing it off a very limited brand, right?
Yes.
And in the market, while you've got 20 commercial or 20 cafes, say on the Gold Coast, if you're in Brisbane.
Yeah.
You're probably not out there as much yet. Would that be accurate to say?
Definitely. And
so you're relying very much on someone to touch it, someone to taste it.
Yes.
And your experience with that business owner at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just introducing myself and, saying what we're doing and the story of so far. And that was really enough. I think the product sells itself. People see it and they're like, whoa, it looks so visually amazing. How could someone say no to it? And as soon as they put them out on display, they would sell out so quickly.
Yeah.
It was just an easy in.
Because if you're talking competitors, you've got, namesake, you got Byron Bay cookies.
Yeah.
Right. So from a namesake, obviously they're a very, very different cookie.
Yeah.
At the time, not many, if any, competitors.
Yeah.
What about today?
Oh, very different today.
Right. Have you established a market essentially?
Yes.
Follow the leader.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to say it like that, but I do think that Gold Coast Cookies was an original filled and loaded cookie to the market and changed the expectations of what Australians want cookies to be like. Competitors today, there are so many people doing the same thing. It's getting a bit crazy, this cookie craze in Australia right now.
It's a cookie craze.
It really is a cookie craze.
I love it.
But do you know what? Competitors never really bothered me until, there are some that will copy you to the point where you have like the same website, the same wording, the same like materials. Right. That gets a little bit like disheartening. Yeah. But it's part of business, and I've had to learn that.
And no one's come up with GC cookies, have they?
Someone in America did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they wanted the name, and I don't know what went on there, but we're like, we're actually on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me too much because I think we're a few years in front anyway. Yeah. We have such like wonderful and loyal customers and a part of the market that we share. I always say there's a slice of the pie for everyone. If you just like, stick to your slice of the pie and do it well and just focus on you, then yeah, good advice.
So you've got at this stage, you brought 2 bakers in.
Yes.
And, let's talk through more of that sort of continued scale. What were your next hires once you've realised my time is best spent out driving new business and I'll have a team there basically doing the labour.
Yeah.
What were your next hires and what direction did you then take?
Yeah, I mean, obviously as we grew, the amount of orders coming in each day was like a huge part, plugging them in and then the fulfillment of those orders, packing them up and sending them out. Yeah, the logistics. Yeah. So there was obviously a lot of hires in that when it comes to more admin side. The logistics of fulfilling it all. I think though, as the business has grown so much over the last few years, one of the things that I probably wish I'd done differently back then was I got more bogged down into the operations and logistics side, just actually trying to make things work, like the scaling of the business.
So policy on the run and procedure on the run, was that?
Yeah.
How were you, when you're saying you got bogged down?
Yeah.
Is it you're figuring out the best methods?
Exactly. Figuring it all out. I even, like doing production schedules for each week. Like what do we actually need to produce based off the orders that have come in? Just working out what equipment we needed, how we were going to store cookies. We needed like fridge space, freezer space, figuring out the layouts of the unit, like just so much bogged down in the manufacturing side. And the thing is with Gold Coast Cookies is like, there's obviously the wholesale side to do, but there's the manufacturing is huge. Like I feel like there's almost 2 businesses in a way. It's like a manufacturing business and a sales and marketing business because each component is such a big thing in itself, and having to manage both was huge. Like it's a huge learning curve for me. Yeah. And one thing would take priority over the other thing at different times. But yeah, I'd say I wish I'd hired more in like the manufacturing and operational side earlier, so that I could have actually done what I was best at, which is getting out there and being the face of the brand. So
do you think as an entrepreneur, as a founder, you kind of hang on a little bit harder to those things? You don't want to let them go as early until you know they're exactly the way that you want them to be. Yeah. Versus, just a straight out, I'll bring in the hire and let me do my own thing.
Yeah, I think that's
were you one that sort of held on, or? I
think that's a big part, but I also think as well, when you start up a business, you don't have much money. Like your cash flow is so tight. I self-funded everything. So, for us, it was like Jordan was working as a dentist just literally to fund Gold Coast Cookies. So, I had no outside investment. So if I had, not saying that I wish I did, but if I'd had, maybe I would have done something differently. But at that time, you just wear every hat in the business to make it work. Yeah, you have to. It's just.
And so how were you managing your cash flow back then? If you've got 20, 30 sort of commercial businesses or commercial cafes that you supply, and were you doing retail at that stage?
No retail. So I literally just focused on wholesale.
All wholesale.
And still do.
Okay, so if you have, all of a sudden 20 to 30 accounts that you've got to manage, from a cash flow perspective, what was a lot of these? Are these businesses sort of COD or were they on terms?
Yeah, we do terms.
You do terms. So that's another factor that you've got to
it is.
account for.
And I guess I've just learned the hard way.
Yeah.
There's obviously been those people.
Yeah.
I've got countless
Chasing
stories.
counts,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it's hard. The cafe industry is a hard industry, right? It's probably
Yeah.
the hardest in Australia. I think more cafes close than any other business sector in Australia.
Yeah.
I think the statistic is frightening, and there are a lot of the time they're small business owners, they're mums and dads that have never gone into a business. So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Is sort of debtors and bad debtors. How do you deal with those at that time when cash flow is so tight?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember if I used to have like a $200 invoice that wasn't paid, it would like keep me up at night.
Oh, really?
How things have changed.
Right. Probably missing a few zeros now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just come to learn, I think, the value of time and energy. I was like, my time spent chasing that could be used in something that actually like moves the business forward and like, and it's not worth my energy.
Yeah.
So now it's just kind of like we do our best. I have certain members of the team who chase accounts, and from there, we have certain like procedures that we go through. But when it was me, I think at the time I was just like, don't have that many staff.
Yeah.
I'm doing so much here. I'm just focusing on moving forward.
Yeah.
Just grow. Sales cures all is always what I say.
Yeah.
Like just keep selling, making more, and that'll help.
So fast forward to today.
Yeah.
You've got
Yes.
I read, is it over 1,000?
Yeah, I think we're coming on near 2,000.
Near 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000
Wow.
venues that we service our cookies to for wholesale. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's your team look like?
Yeah, we have about 25 people on our team. We honestly have such a great team at the moment. Wonderful people on our team. We've just made some really key hires in the business, which have been fantastic.
In what roles?
In more of the operations side.
Okay.
A bit of business development as well. I'm still the main sales person in the business, obviously being the owner and the founder.
Yeah. People want to deal with you? Is that one of the reasons why? Like your customers, they want to deal with you?
Yeah, I mean...
Or is it something that you know the business best? I'm the one that can get
I think
the right
it's
relationships.
I think I've learned to focus on what I'm best at. I've spent so much time doing things that weren't in sales, and that's not like my superpower, as I say, but my superpower where I'm meant to really, I feel like I'm called to do is customer relationships and sales. And that's what I enjoy doing. And that's, I'm happy day to day doing that. So I was like, that's what I'm going to focus on. That's my lane, and then hire to compensate for the other lanes that I don't want to do.
Right.
I'm now at that point where I can do that, which is so nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
So you've got 2,000 clients, essentially.
Yeah.
Ranging from what size to what size?
Yeah.
What are we talking?
So many. So obviously our bread and butter of our business is still our independent cafes.
Right. How many of those would you have?
I'd probably say like 60% of our business is cafes now.
Okay.
And
across which part of Australia?
All of Australia. We service everywhere. WA, Tas, everywhere else. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But I would say, we're now in so many different markets. So we do like a lot of petrol and convenience. We do convention centers, hotels, events, catering, bakeries, all different things. Yeah, wherever there's coffee and wherever people want sweet things, our cookies work really well.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so for more of the national brands that you're involved with, talk me through that process of, typically it's not the easiest is to get stocked with some of these national brands.
Yeah.
How did you find it, and did they reach out to you, or was it outbound?
Yes, I was actually at a trade show a few years ago, and I met my first kind of larger customer who loved the product and wanted to get our cookies in their sites. And then from that...
How many sites are we talking?
There was about 120 sites they had at the time to get them involved.
Yeah.
But I still have a great relationship with them to this day. They still stock our cookies like 4 years later. And they were a huge starting point. From there, it literally was networking and I think what I focus on is just networking and relationship building. This person knows this person who can give you that contact, And from that, it was all through word of mouth. Like Gold Coast Cookies sells so well in our venue. It's become a top seller in our bakery cabinet. I want it as well. And then they'd see it and then they'd get jealous and they want it in theirs as well. Wow. So it's literally just kind of all been organic, just all kind of catapulted.
Wow, that's fantastic. So, all right. So then we've got 25 staff that are working in the business.
Yes. Yeah.
And 2,000.
Yeah.
Also
venues.
commercial venues. Has there been a temptation at all to go direct to market? As in offer a retail product?
Yeah. It's a funny one. I often weigh it up. And I know there's other people out there now in the market, obviously doing just that. And that's what they're good at. And they're kind of focusing on their lane, which is retail, and doing it well. But when I always contemplate it, I think, do you know what, Gold Coast Cookies, the reason why we've come so far in 5 years is because I focused on the one thing, which was being the best wholesale supplier of filled and loaded cookies to be able to scale and reach any venue anywhere in Australia, and to have a high quality product. So for me, I never say never, but for now, there's still a lot more growth in the market. We still have ongoing interest week by week. I think I just want to focus on what we do best, which is being a wholesale supplier. So it's what we're doing. It's what we're doing at the moment. But like I say never. We're always trying to improve and implement new things.
Right.
So however we do that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe one day.
And any international aspirations?
Yeah. It's not something I dream about it sometimes, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm actively doing at this point. I think in the near future, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah. But for now, I'm just focusing on Australia. I think there's still a lot more growth to be had here. Yeah.
What's your output at? Where is your bakery? So where have
factory?
your factory?
Yeah. So, I live in Coolangatta on the Gold Coast now. And our factory is just in Tweed Head South.
Okay.
Yeah, in the industrial units there.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I know the spot.
Yes.
So what would your output be per week?
Yeah, we're baking up to around 50,000 cookies a week at the moment.
Wow.
So our small little oven, baking 6 to 8 cookies at a time, is now turned into a large oven.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have it's usually around 14 to 15 bakers on the floor at one time.
Right.
Yeah, producing, packing, doing every single mixing dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full operation.
So I want to talk more about your individual team and the departments that you've set up within your 25 staff.
Yeah.
So talk me through the departments and where that ability to scale over the last 5 years has come from, bringing in additional hands and help to scale, but also to future-proof your business so you can continue to obviously deliver 50,000 cookies per week. What are the departments? Let's talk through that.
So we obviously have our baking team.
Yeah.
Then we have our packing and fulfillment team, we call them.
And are they working around the clock?
Yeah, we usually we start around 6 a.m, and sometimes our shifts go till like 9 p.m. at night.
Right.
Yeah, obviously different teams, different shifts, but it's pretty full days depending on the season.
Okay.
Yeah. We also have a warehouse manager, so they're more in the warehouse with the amount of cardboard and boxing and all the different things going on there, ingredient ordering and stock control.
Yep.
Then in the office we have 2 admin team, which do different admin roles, whether it's like more the invoicing or plugging in of orders or account management and customer relations. And then we have our new business operations manager, who's taking, just kind of management of everyone on site.
Okay.
Plus a bit of business development going on as well in terms of like what new products can we do, what new customers could we introduce ourselves to, and helping me with the sales a little bit also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to bring on an operations manager, is that to the point where you're thinking you need to let go a little bit more again? Were you holding on to more of that operations, I guess when I mentioned earlier, sort of founders, it's kind of everything funnels back into you for decisions.
Yeah.
Makes it quite restrictive, right? When you want to go out and chase new business.
Yeah.
Is that part of you letting go a little bit more?
Absolutely. And from that very lesson of making sure that I only do what I'm best at doing.
Yeah.
I think, I've known that we've needed an operations manager for a long time, and we've tried to find the right person for quite a while, but it's taken a long time. But it takes a long time to find the right person who has the same values as you, and that if they don't have the same values, you're not going to align. Yep. So for me, it's like, it's been a journey, but I think we're at the point now in the business where we're all really aligning. The culture is really great, but you have to persevere and be patient in finding that right person.
Let's talk through the Gold Coast.
Okay.
So you're 5 years in on the business.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen on the coast during that time? Not so much respectively to your business, but just in general. I mean, we're seeing, amazing migration coming from the south. COVID probably gave us a nice bump from particularly Melbourne.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen and most importantly liked over the last sort of 4 or 5 years here on the coast?
Oh, wow. Well, I am the biggest advocate for the Gold Coast. Changes that I have seen, I think obviously the Gold Coast is growing so much. There's so many amazing people that live here. Like, I know a lot of other entrepreneurs who have started awesome businesses here from the Gold Coast. I just think it's growing, and I think it's nowhere near its potential yet. But it's hands down the best place to live on earth. I've lived in America, I've lived in the UK, and I've traveled a lot of the world. And I always say to people, the Gold Coast is the best place on earth. Like, I love it. So yeah, the potential is huge. I'm loving that it's getting busier. I think that it's the go-to spot for Australians to holiday to. Even my friends in the UK, they love the opportunity that they have us living here.
Come and visit.
And it's such a holiday destination. Yeah. And for me, it's just waking up every day to knowing that I live in like a destination that people would, dream to come on vacation to, let alone live on. So
I think, I mean, that's very well said. I think the coast has always been a place you'd love to live if you can earn the money. It's been very, very difficult in the past to attract those high performers that want to relocate here, to open a business here. But I feel especially on the back end of COVID, I kind of see that as a real trigger point in the coast's economy. Property prices, probably got the kickstart back on the back end of COVID. And I think the way that we're starting to introduce not so much new industries, but new industries are starting to set up here on the coast. Typically for everyone a day, it's been property and tourism, right? So I think we're right on the verge of, some excellent growth here on the coast as we lead up into Olympic Games as well.
Yes.
Are you finding with your suppliers, your cafes on the ground, is there a sense of what a feel from them that you get from them in terms of optimism? Probably let's probably exclude those on the tram line at this stage. They're probably not feeling so optimistic. But generally, what are you feeling from those customers that you have that are essentially boots on the ground?
If I'm honest, I think at the moment what I'm getting from cafes, especially, your small independent cafes, is the economy's hard right now. That's the honest truth of it. People are tighter than ever before. I mean, when I first started Gold Coast Cookies, it was like, I don't know. I just think the economy was strong back then, and you could really see it. Now everyone's a bit more conscious of what they buy and what they spend. So you hear that from cafes, and like you said, it sounds like it's very hard to run a cafe, and any small business is hard to run. So, you hear their struggle in that. However, in times like this, where it's school holidays or it's Christmas holidays, it's their busy period because they have so many people from the South coming up. So I think in those times, it's great, but probably on your week to week.
A bit of a struggle.
It is. I think it's tight out there. And, the Gold Coast is such a beautiful place to live. No wonder it has such a high price point to live here, because it's so insanely beautiful. But yeah, with that comes hardship, of course.
Speaking of pricing, what are the cookies retailing for in a cafe typically?
Yes, the cookies retail around $6.50 to $7.50.
Okay.
As a retail price point, yeah.
Right. So essentially that's, to be paired with a coffee or, in lieu of a dessert. Is that the way that they're consumed in cafes?
Absolutely. So it's the perfect upsell with a cup of coffee. And we also have a lot of like dessert parlors, ice cream places that serve our cookie warm with a scoop of ice cream. But predominantly, like as a,
more of a
American
dessert.
cookie dessert, warm cookie dessert. But yeah, predominantly we're literally sold as a, at the till, you got your coffee and, that looks super yummy. I'll have one of those, if not 2 or 3, because they can't pick which flavor they want.
Right. And I've been meaning to ask, since you've mentioned it a few times, your husband. So is he still a dentist?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking not.
No. Yeah.
When did he...
It was 3 years ago this month.
Right. 3 years ago. Wow. Okay.
3 years ago. Yeah.
So only a couple of years into...
Yeah, I did dentistry for a few years.
Yep.
And then we got to the point where we thought the business would benefit from all his energy being in it.
So he works in the business?
He does.
Oh, great.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what role? A bit of everything.
Everything.
Right.
That's the way it always is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. He's there, and he does it all with me now and gets to experience it all. So.
And how do you guys go working together?
It's the best.
Is it?
Yeah. It's like we were meant to work together.
Really?
We both.
There's no clash. There's
not
generally.
At all. No, never. People warned us of that before we quit dentistry. They were like, just be careful when you work together. But no, it's great. We actually work really well together. I think the main thing is that we both have completely different strengths. So they complement each other. We always say, like, he's the back end of the clock and I'm the front end. Like I'm the face of the clock, he's the back. Yeah. So yeah, he's just, working things out, finances, all those things. Probably lots of smart things that I'm not so strong at. Yeah. And then I do what I do best, and they both really complement each other. So, yeah.
Oh, that's very good.
Yes.
And let's talk future now.
Yeah.
So we're 2020, coming up 2026.
Yeah.
What's your 2 to 3 year sort of short-term plan? And then we'll talk sort of further from there.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take the business?
Yeah. So I over the last few years, I used to always do like 5-year plans, 10-year plans. And then I found that every year, like things would just change so much. Yep. I decided to just take it a year at a time. So I know 5-year plans and having a vision is really good and really healthy, but I'm actually at the point where I just want to keep growing. And I know I just want to keep growing my whole life. I can never imagine myself not working because I love business so much. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to keep growing as a person, as a businesswoman. I feel like business itself has made me grow so much in my character and who I am. And that's, so I have lots of like more personal goals in that regard. But I just want to keep growing, keep being and doing the best I can, bringing out new things. There's obviously cookies is only the beginning.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask about other products.
Yeah, it's a constant thing. I'm always looking around being like, that would be so cool.
Right. So give me some examples. What could some other products be?
Oh gosh, you've put me on the spot. I'm not sure. I don't know.
like mini cakes or like...
Oh, you're thinking more in the bakery space.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously sometimes like especially because I have so many customers giving me feedback on what they're missing. Sometimes people will say, I really need this. I can't find a supplier of this. Can you make that as well? Right. So the possibilities of producing more things for the current customers we have is definitely, it's a no-brainer. I think we'll probably see that stepping into next year more, into 2026. But just in general, like I'm still a Shark Tank fanatic, and I just love the thought of making something that doesn't exist or making something better in the world, and helping people with that. Yeah. So you're
thinking potentially even outside of cookies.
Never seen. Yeah. Maybe one day. I mean, I'm a cookie lady
right now.
Right now. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. But I mean, I love cookies and I always will, but I love business as a whole also. And I think, why would I cap what I can do? I'm only 31. I feel like I'm just beginning. Yeah.
Excellent. What about in terms of the ingredients that you use and how you source them?
Yeah.
Particularly some of those main ingredients, chocolate obviously being one. Do you essentially just go sort of straight to supplier, or are you going sort of further down the chain? Being, 50,000 cookies a week, I'm assuming that's quite a lot in terms of raw material.
Yeah, it is.
Talk me through that.
Yeah, we just, it's a journey. You have to keep talking to the right person to talk to the right person to lead you to the supplier so that you can get it at the best price.
Yeah.
But one thing that Gold Coast Cookies has always stood by, and this is what I did from the beginning, was high quality ingredients. It's like when I started doing the recipe trials, I was like, I want to use the best vanilla extract. I want to use the best chocolate. I want to use all the best inclusions. And from that, I think that's why Gold Coast Cookies has the reputation it has for being such a premium product. So yeah, I always stand by that. And I think that's where we've differed to maybe other cookies on the market. We never, take the short straw and just go for something that's cheaper. We'll always go for what's the best experience for the customer. So yeah, for us, it's a journey to try and keep that tight, especially when you want to use the highest quality ingredients like Belgian chocolate and things like that, rather than just compound. But yeah, you just keep working the more you know, and then the more volume you get, you obviously get better pricing as you go. And it's just a work in progress.
And do you change suppliers often? Like what's
not really. Our chocolate supplier we've had for like 5 years since the very beginning. Yeah, I remember they used to drop off a small box at my apartment door, and I'd be like, "Thank you." And now they're delivering pallets.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, now I did ask you that 2 to 3 year plan.
Yeah.
Is exiting this business an option for you at any stage? As in a paid exit, a buyout, someone comes to you tomorrow and says, I love Gold Coast Cookies, I love what you've done with it, I want the business.
Yeah. Obviously, when you hear stuff like that, it's always tempting. And
this is the Shark Tank coming out.
This is the Shark Tank, of course. And this is what everyone...
20% of your business. So, no. But legitimately, if someone came knocking...
Yeah. It's always tempting to hear that. And, of course, every business owner thinks in their head, like, is this something... Every week, when something... Some hardship challenge happens, you're like, which is just inevitable. That's business. But... It's always like something that you think about. But when I deeply reflected on it, I thought, but what would I do? Like, it's not actually about, I know we all do business because we want to, because of the financial side of it and the opportunities and freedom we can get from that. But at the end of the day, it's about your everyday purpose and your enjoyment of every day. So for me, I'm like, what would I do? I'd have to come up with a product that was like exponentially better than the cookies at the moment for me to move on. But that's not happening at the moment. I know I have so much growth to be had in this cookie space. I think that we're, one of the original loaded cookies, and people know that, and the brand is literally just beginning, and it's like awareness nationally across Australia. That's why we've seen, such big growth year on year across the business. So yeah, it's not in my mind right now, but I'm
never say never. And there's always a figure. There's a figure at some point. And so as we start to wrap up, I've got a couple of rapid fire questions here for you.
Fun.
So how many flavors do you have?
15 at the moment.
15.
But we're bringing out a new limited edition flavor every single fortnight leading up to Christmas. We started last week.
Right. And so that'll just be for the rest of the year?
Yeah, we'll probably do it in 2026 as well. Keeping it fun and fresh so that every 2 weeks our customers can get a new thing on the shelf.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. Very cool. Out of the 15 or 16 and growing number, what's the favorite?
For me personally, my favorites have changed so much throughout the years. It used to be Nutella, which is our number one bestseller week on, week out. We literally sell tens of thousands of Nutella cookies every week.
Is that right?
Yeah, Nutella, and so hands down.
For that, you actually buy Nutella?
Yes, yeah.
You have to buy
in as big of kilogram pots of Nutella you can.
Right.
To scoop it out and
that's
fill
not
it
something you can recreate the taste?
No, because you want to have the best quality. Yeah, exactly. But for me now, my favorite flavor is the pistachio filled. Pistachio is super trending right now, and I'm one of those people that love it.
Right. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And the biggest lesson that you've learned in business,
Yes.
let's say since you've scaled, not so much early on, but since you've scaled.
Okay. My biggest lesson would be just ensuring that I use all my energy and focus on what I do best. I think I've mentioned it quite a few times in this podcast, but like I think I spent a lot of time, probably a little bit more wasted. Maybe not wasted, but I was learning in the process. Whereas I probably could have taken the business even further if I had just stuck in my lane and what I was good at and what I was enjoying. If I went back in time, that would be my biggest lesson: is hire the right people earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, to help you, because you need you're the engine. If you're the sales front of the business, you're the engine of the business. And I wish I'd had a bigger engine to help me, because there's only so much that you can do. And you need a bigger engine.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Shark Tank aside, and Kevin O'Leary aside, and potential mentors, but do you have a mentor or an influence that has driven you? Do
you know what I have? No. I don't get me wrong. My husband for one, Jordan, he's been a huge support and encourager. I am part of a church here on the Gold Coast, and part of a lovely church community. And there's a few people in my church who have, great businesses, and they've always encouraged me, or if I needed advice or had questions, they were always there to
fantastic.
to help. But I've never had like a paid one-on-one mentorship or coaching that I've invested in. I'm not saying that, I'm glad about that. Maybe it would have been beneficial, but I think along the way it comes to a point where trial and error and just learning as you go was what worked for me. And
how would the team describe you in the business?
Oh, wow.
Your team, how would they describe you?
Yeah, gosh, what a question. One time we had this like quiz at Christmas that said, who has the most energy on a Monday morning? And everyone wrote Christina.
On a Monday morning.
Yeah,
right.
I love Monday mornings. I'm pumped. New week, let's do it. What's new? I would say I've always been known as a bubbly personality. I am a bit of a softie, which does get the better of me sometimes. But yeah, I'm just motivated, determined. I think people would just see me as hungry, striving, motivated, and hopefully kind.
All great qualities for a leader.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
And we've established dental hygienist is out of the question, but if it wasn't cookies, what else would you be doing?
Man, I found such a love for selling things recently. I love having relationships with customers. I love speaking with customers, making sure that we're actually helping them, taking care of them. So I think if I wasn't selling cookies and my own cookies, I'd probably be a sales rep for someone else and their products. I'm glad I'm not.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm glad I'm selling my own.
I know which chair you'd rather be sitting in.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's what I'm meant to do. I think I found that about myself. I literally, like, every single customer we have, I say we have 2,000 customers, wholesale customers. We literally obsess over every single one. So like every single customer we have, if anyone and any cafe drops off and they stop ordering from us, like we seriously care. Like the whole team get together in the office. We talk about it. What could we have done? Yeah, literally even your smallest cafe. We'll say like, what could we have done better for them? Why did they move on? What was their feedback? Did we get feedback from them? Like I obsess over every single one. And I like know the owner's names of every one.
And do you reach out to them and say?
Yeah. I mean, we have team members doing that now, but every now and then I'll touch point and just check in on them, just get feedback on how they're going with the experience with us. That's what I love. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Striking Gold is all about turning a simple idea into extraordinary. And Christina Baker, thank you for sharing your story today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This has been so fun. The time has just flown by. I could keep going.
I'm glad you had fun. It's great to chat to you. Thank you.
Thanks.